neck, low back. All right, so let's start on our backs this morning. If you want a little bit of a hip stretch, you can bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees open out to the sides, drawing the heels as close or as far from the body as feels comfortable. If the hips are kind of resisting that opening as you perhaps move into it, the option is there to just extend the legs out straight or even lift the knees up and just plant the soles of your feet on the ground. Just allow your body to be heavy, allow your arms to relax wherever they feel comfortable. Slight little downward tuck to the chin. Create a little bit more length there at the back of the neck if that's okay. And then just become still for a moment, still in your physical body, encouraging the mind to still somewhat. Letting go of the morning that's passed by up until this point. Letting go of whatever thoughts linger in your mind as you come to this place of stillness. And just start to notice how you're feeling, physically, mentally, emotionally, even spiritually. The more aware you are of your own body and mind and emotional state, the more apt you are to really pay attention through your practice today, giving your body exactly what it needs at all times. So you're never pushing past your edge. You're never forcing, you're never straining, you're just working diligently, but safely. And as you start to deepen the breath, breathing in and out through the nose, allow for that 3-part full yogic breath. So as the belly fills at the start of the inhale, the rib cage then begins to open and expand, and finally the collarbones and even the shoulders lift just slightly. As you begin the exhale, the collarbones come back down, the ribs regather back towards the spine, and the belly falls as well. And then the inhale comes in again, belly fills, ribs expand, collarbones, shoulders slightly lift up. Exhale, the collarbones settle, the ribs regather, belly coming back towards the spine. So there's your 3-part breath. Just working to slow that breathing right down. And as the breath slows down, the heart rate begins to slow down, the body moving into more of a state of relaxation. Maybe you can even hear the sound of your breath as you breathe in and out through the nose, but swirl that breath gently at the back of your throat. Good. If you're still in Supta Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together on an inhale, just let your knees come up and plant the soles of your feet on the earth. Walk the heels in as close to the buttocks as you can get them, separating your feet to a natural hip distance stance, and then bring your arms as tight to the sides of the body as you can get them, palms pressing down. So your big toes are just slightly turned in, and as you tuck the tail and flatten your low back towards the ground on an inhale, lift your hips slowly off the mat. And as you exhale, lower the hips all the way back down to the ground. Inhaling and the hips rise. Exhaling and we lower the hips down with control. And just continue moving like that, moving with your breath. Try to keep the knees right over top of those ankles. Try to keep your arms parallel to one another. Spread your fingers wide and really press your palms down to the ground. Inhaling to lift the hips up, and you can hold at the top. Try to keep your toes relaxed. Roll the weight to the inside edges of your feet as much as you can. Pushing your chest just a little closer to your chin. Observe your breath. Are you struggling to breathe, or is the breath very steady and smooth, just like it was? Back off if you need to. Take one last inhale, bring your hips up just a little higher, and as you exhale, start to lower the upper back and the mid back and the low back down to the ground. And then draw your knees loosely into your chest, reach for them with your hands, and just rock from side to side, massaging your back. Rolling hip to hip, shoulder to shoulder, ear to ear, and then rolling back to center. Taking your feet back down to the ground. Bringing your arms again alongside the body, walking your heels in close to those sitting bones. So there's only 2 of your own fist distance in between the heels. So we don't want to line up the feet with the outer flesh of the body wide, but the hip bones themselves. And as we tuck the tail and flatten the low back, one more time, inhale, lift up into bridge, Setu Bandhasana. Try not to widen the knees any more than the hips. Press into your big toes and your inner heels. Really engaging your quads, the upper thighs, more than you're engaging your buttocks. So let the buttocks just come in as that secondary point of engagement as you hold your bridge. And then see if you can inhale those hips just a little bit higher and hold there. Root into the big toes. Root into the inner edges of your hands as well, pressing thumbs and pointer fingers down. Smooth inhales, controlled exhales. Take one more inhale, rise onto your toes now, and melt the upper back down to the ground, the mid back, the low back, and the heels down. Take your arms either into cactus or straight out at shoulder height, depending on your proximity to the wall. And then walk your feet as wide as your mat is wide, and let both your knees melt to the right as you turn your head to the left. Palms can face the ceiling or down to the ground if the arms are to a T. Palms are facing up if you're in cactus. And just letting gravity start to draw the knees down, feeling that stretch along the outside of that left leg through the front of the hip. On your next inhale, let your head and your knees slowly return to center, and as you exhale, let both knees melt to the left as you turn your head to the right. And just breathe here, relaxing, letting go. Opening up the side of that right leg, the front of that right hip. Breathing through any tension that you encounter within your body. On your next inhale, let your head and your knees come up and just heel toe your feet towards each other. Let your knees come into your chest. Reach for the knees with the hands and just rock a couple times from side to side. And as you hold on to your knees with your hands, roll all the way over onto your left side. Push your right palm down to the ground and make your way slowly up to seated. And then come onto your hands and your knees in table pose. So you want to stack the shoulders over the wrists and the hips or sitting bones over the knees. Shins are parallel, wrist creases parallel with the top edge of your mat. Spread your fingers out as wide as you can. Make them look like starfish. And as you push the floor away through both palms and you lift through the low belly on an inhale, send your right leg back and your left arm forward, coming into a spinal balance. Palm turning in, thumb pointing up. Pull that left shoulder back and down, away from the ear. Trying to keep those right toes pointing straight down to the earth as you push that heel back behind you. Right shoulder drawing up and away from the wrist. Pay very close attention to the sound of the breath, backing off if you need to. If your table needs to move back to a 3-limbed one rather than 2, then adjust so that you are not pushing to a point of strain. Take another inhale, stretch the arm and leg a little longer, lifting them up a little bit higher. As you exhale, lower the hand and the knee down. And let's inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone as you open the throat, look up, pull the shoulders down and away from the ears. Try to push your chest through those upper arms. Send the crown of the head as close to the tailbone as you can behind your back and take one last inhale here. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, rounding out your back like one of those Halloween cats. John, take your hands wider for me. Both your feet should be able to fit right in there. Good. So press the center of your spine right up to the ceiling above you, tucking your chin in as tight to your chest as you can. How close can you get the crown of the head towards your pubic bone in this posture? Really curling in. Good, now press through the palms and on an inhale, lift the chin, lift the tailbone, open the throat, look up. Exhale, tuck the tail, tuck the chin, rounding out the back. And let's do one more. Inhale into cow and exhale up into your cat. And when you're done that exhale, come back to table. Pull that low belly gently up and in, waiting for your next in-breath to take the left leg back and the right arm forward. Just changing sides in our spinal balance. So flexing your foot as your leg lifts up parallel to the ground. Spread your toes. Try not to collapse between your shoulder blades here. So keep pressing the floor away from you through that left hand, gripping with the fingerprints themselves so the tips of your fingers start to turn lighter in color. Try to draw that right shoulder back and down, away from that right ear. Listen to the breath. No force, no strain. Long, slow, deep breathing. Take another inhale, stretch the leg and arm a little longer, lift them up a little bit higher, and then exhale, set the hand and the knee down. Inhale into cow and hold the pose. So press the chest forward. Send the crown of the head back towards that tailbone as far as it'll go. Take one last inhale here as you exhale. Begin to reverse it up into cat. Tuck the tail and the chin. Pull the belly in, push the floor away. Fingerprints are still gripping, every knuckle pressing. Good, inhaling to a neutral table, big toes together. Sit your hips towards your heels, bring your thighs so they touch right together. So once your hips have come down as far as they possibly can go, we haven't lowered the chest yet, so we try to sit the hips first down. Then we begin to melt the torso down. Maybe the arms come down as a means of support. Maybe you're using your hands like a pillow to support the head. Maybe you're needing to stack the fists instead of the flat palms. If your forehead makes it to the ground, the option is there to relax the arms alongside you or out in front of you. And notice how when we come into a child's pose with our legs together, how it might feel different than when we take the knees really wide or just to a hip distance width. Less space for the belly to expand, so feel the expansion move into the back as you breathe in, through the kidneys, through the upper back. And let your hips just start to move a little bit from side to side. And then as your hips make their way back to center and you begin to extend your arms all the way out in front of you, look at the space between your thumbs. Make sure it's big enough for both your feet to fit, and then you're pulling yourself up to your hands and knees, readjusting your knees to just that hip distance width. Walk your hands forward an inch or two as you curl your toes under. And now looking at your navel, begin to lift the knees, rise high up onto the toes, lifting your hips as high as you can, chest presses way back, and settle your heels gently back down towards the ground. Let's do that again. Inhale high on the toes. Hips lift up, chest presses way, way back, and then press those heels slowly back down. Inhale, one last time, high on the toes, hips lift up, push the chest way, way back, and press those heels down. Now let's just bend the left knee a little bit and see if you can get your right heel closer to the ground. Keeping everything else the same. Arms are strong and straight, shoulders are drawn back and down away from the ears. Change sides, press the left heel down and bend the right knee. Maintain that breath in and out through the nose. Good, let's one more time come to the right side, left knee bends. Hold the stretch, breathe into it. Try not to bend the arms, try not to lock them out. Press the left heel down, bend the right knee. Good, press both heels gently down and begin to walk your hands towards your feet. So keep walking the hands back. Eventually you might be on your fingerprints, bending your knees even more to let the heels settle. Let your whole upper body now just hang over the legs in a ragdoll forward bend, and if your hands touch the ground, just let your palms face up or grab a hold of the elbows if you prefer. So deep bend in the knees. Let everything go, let everything hang and be heavy, giving the head a little shake as though you were saying no. And then bring the head back to center and just start to nod the head yes, up and down. And then once again, relax the head. And as gravity begins to work on the torso, pulling it closer to the thighs, maybe those hamstrings have opened up a little more. Can you straighten the legs just a little bit? Can you lift the hips away from the heels, maintaining equal weight between heels and toes? Try to keep your hands out of the equation so you're not reaching for the floor. You're just relaxing. Good. Now we look down at those hands. Bring your hands to the earth at a shoulder distance stance. So it might just start fingerprints. Looking at your feet now, begin to walk the hands forward. Keep looking at your feet. Eventually the entire palm is on the ground as you keep walking your hands forward until you're back in your downward dog position. Check to make sure the hands are level with one another and even, and then relax your head, push the chest back, and press those heels down towards the ground. Good. On an inhale, pull yourself forward to the top of a push-up. So up on the toes, shoulders come forward over the wrists. If you need a modification, you would simply set the knees down, which is what I often do in this posture. So if you have issues with shoulders or wrists, or you're just finding it difficult to maintain that long, deep breathing without it sounding forced or strained, set the knees down. Puff up the upper back a little bit as you tuck the tailbone. Tips of your fingers are still turning in lighter in color. That's how much of a grip you have happening there. Now, inhale, look slightly forward and begin to lower as you exhale. Hips and shoulders coming down at the exact same time. Untuck the toes, send the chin forward and lift through the back of the head. Try to squeeze a little bit here between those shoulder blades. And make sure that you could easily lift your hands right off the ground. And then we plant the hands back alongside the chest, making sure the fingers are behind the tops of the shoulders. Pull your chest a little further forward and stretch your toes a little further back. So we're in Bhujangasana, our cobra pose. Take one more inhale, coming up just a little higher, use the back. And then lower your forehead, tuck your toes under. Inhale, press back up to plank from the toes or the knees. You want to make sure the hips and shoulders lift at the exact same time. Press back to your down dog now. Relax your head. Make sure your feet are parallel to one another so the big toes are just slightly turned in. Good. If your heels are more than 4 inches off the ground, step the feet just a little closer and maybe try bending the knees a little bit more so you can really press the chest back. Beautiful. On your next inhale, rise high on the toes, softening the knees as you look forward. Walk your feet all the way up to the space in between the hands without lifting all the way up with the chest. Now place your hands in your shins and inhale, straighten the arms. Lean a bit of weight into your toes. Feel your hips come forward over those ankles. Keep giving that little squeeze between the shoulder blades and take one more inhale. As you exhale, fold down over the legs, relax the head, and just let it hang. So you can make this passive, you can make it active, you can hold the floor with the fingerprints or grip the legs with the hands, your choice, or you can just let the arms dangle and be heavy. Now let's inhale, come up to the flat back again. Take your left hand and just kind of reach for the outside of that right shin or ankle or foot or the floor. Without pushing your hips out to the left, take your right arm out like a wing and look at your thumb. So your hand is forward in line with the shoulder, and on an inhale, begin to lift that right arm up. Spiraling your chest, open to the right. Send the crown of the head forward, reach your tailbone back behind you. Take one more inhale. Look down and lower the hand down. Take your right hand now across to the outside of the left leg or foot. Without shifting the hips out to the right, take your left arm out to the left and look at your thumb. And then inhale, begin to lift that left arm up. Turning your chest towards the wall to the left without swinging the hips out to the right. Now send the crown of the head forward, reach your tailbone back behind you. Taking one more inhale, reach even higher. Look down, lower the hand down. Inhale, look forward and lengthen. Put a little bend in the knees and let your hands come to your hips as you exhale. Inhale, rise to standing, straightening the legs. Relax the arms at the sides, palms roll open. Take an inhale. Hands to heart, exhale. Inhale, reach up as you look forward and lean to the right as you exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, come back up and look up. Take a little back bend as you exhale. Inhale to the top. Reaching forward, we fold and come all the way down. Now step the right foot back as you inhale, looking out in front of you. Plant both palms and step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, shift the shoulders forward over the wrists, and exhale, lower your body slowly with control. Curl into your cobra as you inhale. Tuck your toes, press it back to your down dog as you exhale. Now we take a big step forward with the right foot, gazing out in front of us. And then left foot joins the right as we fold over those legs. Arms beside the ears, reach forward, up, maybe back slightly. Exhale, arms to the sides. Inhale. Hands to heart, exhale. Inhale, reach up as you look forward. This time lean to the left first. Inhale to center. And over to the right. Inhale, back up, look up. Take a little back bend. Inhale to the top, reach forward and fold all the way down. Left foot steps back this time, stay on the toes, gazing out in front of you, and then plant both palms and step back to down dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower, slow. Curl through cobra. Tuck the toes and take it back to downward dog. Left foot, big step forward as you look forward. And then right foot joins the left as you fold over the legs. Arms beside the ears, reach forward, up, look up. Exhale, arms to the sides. Inhale deeply. Exhale, hands to heart center. So let's inhale, reach the arms up, looking forward, pull the shoulders down away from the ears, pull that low belly in and take another inhale. Lean to your right as you exhale and hold. Push that left hip out to the left. Chest is pointing straight ahead, as are the hips. Inhale, come through center and lean over to your left. Chest is forward, hips are forward. Push that right hip just out to the right. Maintain the breath through the nose. Shoulders are relaxed. Inhale to center. Exhale, place your hands on the small of the back. Hug your elbows in as you push the hips forward, really opening across the chest as you look up, and start to lean the upper body back. Pushing your hands into the small of the back, you feel the buttocks engage here. Lift your heart up towards the ceiling above you in this back bend. If you're struggling to breathe, you've gone back too far. Make sure you can maintain the breath. Good. Push into your hands. Inhale, come up slowly. Bring your fingers around to the front of the hips. Thumbs remain around the back. Inhale, lift through the crown, and then hinge and fold from the hips. Walk your hands down, maybe reaching for the floor, maybe the calves, maybe the ankles. Pull yourself towards those thighs. Try to let your toes take just as much weight as your heels. Controlled breath. Try to straighten out the legs slowly over time. Now we look down to the ground. We place the palms flat on the ground at a shoulder distance width. So get both palms flat. Step your right foot back and then your left foot back. So you're in a plank position, either on the toes or the knees. Listen to what your body is telling you. Pull that low belly in, grip with the fingers. Now inhale, look slightly forward. Start to lower shoulders and hips as you exhale. Send the chin forward, toes stretch back, lifting through the back of the head. Try to hug your elbows in. Lift those kneecaps. Push into your palms, inhale a little higher. Tuck your toes, press it back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high, and exhale, step your right foot up. So if your foot doesn't quite make it to the hands, nothing wrong with setting the left knee down, pulling that foot forward, and then lifting the back knee again. Now we pull the right hip back and shift the left one forward, making sure that our feet are at a hip distance stance. Pushing the back of that left thigh up towards the ceiling, sinking both hips down towards the ground at the same time. Maintain the breath. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, just lower your left knee. Keep your back toes tucked. Walk your hands up to your knee, your thigh, and then relax the arms at the sides as you roll those shoulder blades towards each other. And then inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears, staying here, or lifting the left knee and straightening the left leg. Your choice, your practice. Keep that right knee bent deep over the right ankle. Take another inhale, reach up, really stretch it back. Exhale, and let's lower the hands down. Pick up the back knee as you plant both your palms. Right foot joins the left. Press back into your downward dog. Hips high, chest pressing back, heels pressing down. Inhale, lift the left leg slowly. Big step forward with that left foot. And then if you need to, pull the foot to the hands. Walk the left foot out to the left. Wiggle that right foot back. Now we're pulling the left hip back. We're shifting the right hip forward. We're trying to get that right leg as straight as we possibly can. Chest is moving forward away from navel. Navel is moving forward away from pubic bone. Take another deep breath in. Lower your right knee. Keep the toes tucked. Walk the hands up. Shoulders come up. Arms relax at the sides. Knees still over ankle. Squeeze those blades together and inhale. Sweep the arms forward and up as you look up. So the option is here to stay on the back knee or pick up the knee and straighten the back leg. What did you do on the right side? Try to keep things balanced in your body. Make sure you can breathe. Take another inhale, reach up, really stretch it back. Exhale and lower the arms down. Plant both your palms. Pick up your back knee. Left foot joins the right. Press back to downward dog. And take a moment here. Close the eyes. Relax the head. Push the chest gently back. Good. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, lower your knees. Untuck your toes. Slide your left hand forward a few inches and then walk it out to the left about the same amount. Really glue that left palm down. Now let's inhale, take the right arm out like a wing. Taking your arm now across your mat, turning your palm up to face the ceiling, sliding your right hand as far to the left as you can, bending your left elbow so you can start to lower your right shoulder, the side of your head, relaxing down onto that right shoulder and right arm. Come up to your left fingerprints. Try to be sure that your ankles are still directly behind the knees, hips are over the knees. So your left hand can stay on the floor, giving you a bit of support. You can also float the left arm up towards the ceiling. Palm is kind of opening in the same direction as the chest, the same way the face is turned. Right arm is very heavy on the ground. Feeling that twist along the entire spine, feeling that massage through that right shoulder. Some of you may want to play with your balance a little bit. The option is there to tuck the left toes, straighten the left leg, and just slide your left foot all the way back behind you. So your toes are on the ground and the left leg would be straight. So you can really press into that right arm, the right knee, the top of the right foot, and the shin. You might even be able to float your left toes just an inch off the ground. Maybe even lifting that leg all the way up without lifting the hip up. Take another deep breath in. Maybe you can lift the left foot a little higher. Set the left toes down. Set the left knee down. Release the left fingerprints down. Just in front of the face, we push into the left hand. Inhale, start to unwind the body. Taking your right arm out to the right and up, 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 and then lower your right hand down. Come into a neutral table. Inhale, lift the chin and the tailbone up. Press the heart forward. Take one more inhale here as you exhale. Start to tuck the tail, tucking the chin, rounding the back. Return to a neutral spine and walk your right hand forward a few inches and then out to the right. So all we're going to do is thread the needle on the other side. So left arm out like a wing. Look at your thumb. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, take your left hand palm up across your mat, all the way to the right, bending your right elbow as you lower your left shoulder, the side of your head. Try not to swing those hips too much out to the side. Point your toes straight back behind you. So as you relax heavily onto your left shoulder, come onto your right fingerprints. A little spider with those fingers. Option is there as well to float the right arm up to the ceiling. This allows for a little bit more weight to settle into that left shoulder and left arm. You're listening to your body. What is it telling you? So if the right arm is up and you're feeling fairly stable, make sure that your hips are over your knees. So Jayashree, watch the tendency for your hips to really fall forward here. Can you come back a little bit closer to your thighs with your upper body and let your hips come back over your knees? Because you can take the right toes and tuck them. You can straighten that right leg out. That might be enough. You might even be able to float that right leg right off the ground. So the right arm stays floating up to the sky if you're lifting that leg up. So when we go to lift the leg, we need to make sure that the parts of the body that stay on the ground are really pressing down. And if you fall over, it's okay. We can come back up. If you've lifted the right foot, inhale it just a little higher. And then settle the toes down. Settle the knee down. Let your right hand come down. Pushing into that hand right in front of the face. Inhale, begin to unwind. Taking your left arm out to the left and then lifting it all the way up. And then lower the left hand down. Come back to table. Inhaling into cow. We hold it. One more inhale here. As you exhale, take it up into cat and hold. And then neutral spine, slide the knees back an inch or two, tuck your toes under, stretch it out in your downward facing dog. Hips to the ceiling, heels gently lower. Try to press the armpits back towards the ankles. Head hangs heavy. Good. Step your right foot up in between your hands and then walk your hands around to the left, turning your right toes in as you go. You're going to adjust your feet so there's about one leg's length in between them and your feet are slightly pigeon-toed here. And now lean a bit of weight into your toes. Feel your hips come forward in line with your ankles, making sure that your heels are out and your big toes are in. Now take a deep breath in, gazing forward. As you exhale, begin to melt the torso down, planting your palms at a shoulder distance width. Can you walk your hands back a little bit without dropping all the weight back into your heels? So equal weight between heels and toes. Legs are as straight as you can get them without locking them. Use the strength of your arms now to draw your torso through your thighs. Try to let your head hang. How far back can you walk your hands? Good. So John, pigeon toe your feet for me. Heels out more. Not the toes, but the heels. Even a little more if you can. Now, palms flat. Walk the hands back a little bit if you can without bending the knees anymore. Good. Keep your elbows hugging into shoulder distance. So Jayashri, shorten your stance a little bit and see if you can get your head to come back closer to the space in between your hands. You might even be able to come down just a tiny bit more. Good. Keeping the heels of those hands down, keeping the palms gripping your mat. On your next inhale, walk the hands forward, rise to the fingerprints and look forward. Now put a little bend in the knees and bring your hands to your hips. And with strong legs, we rise all the way up to standing. Turn your right toes out. Line up your right heel with your left arch and walk your left foot back a little further. Keeping your left foot parallel with the back edge of your yoga mat, let's bend the right knee over top of the right ankle. And then notice where your shoulders and your hips are facing. Try to point them straight out to that wall to your left. Take a little peek down at your right knee. Can you see your big toe? Try to move your knee a little bit to the right towards the baby toe edge of the foot. Arms out to a T. Pull the shoulders down and now look down that right arm. Look past the tip of that right middle finger. Keeping the tailbone tucked, lift through the crown of the head. This is our warrior two here. Right fingers are stretching forward, but the left fingers are really reaching back behind you. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Turn your right toes in as you straighten your right leg. Pivot and turn your left toes out, heel to right arch, bend your left knee now over your left ankle. Try to keep your hips and your shoulders both facing that wall that's to your right. Take your arms, spread them out to a T. Relax the shoulders down. Look at your left knee. Can you see your left big toe? And now look down that left arm. Try to keep the arms right over top of those legs. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Hug the muscles of the upper arms in just a little bit closer to the bone. Hands are not higher than the shoulders. Keep encouraging the shoulders to come down. Take another deep breath in. Stretch across both arms. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Turning your left toes in as you straighten the left leg. Pivot and turn your right toes out. And then take a big step forward with that left foot, closing the pose at the top of your yoga mat. Close the eyes. Interlacing your fingers now. Looking forward in front of you, press your palms straight out in front of you, and then draw those shoulder blades onto the back. Without lifting your shoulders up, begin to float your arms up. Keep looking forward. Don't let the shoulders move at all. Keep that low belly drawn in. See something in front of you, and now inhale, lift your heels away from the floor. Maybe just a little bit, maybe a lot. Find your edge. Try to keep pressing firmly into all 10 of your toes. Take another deep breath in, and with your exhale, lower your heels down. Inhale, press the palms up. Exhale, separate the hands, lead with the chest, and fold all the way down. Now look forward as you inhale. Plant your palms on your mat and step back. First the left foot and then the right foot. You're at the top of a push-up and you're breathing. Look forward as you inhale. Lower all the way down to the belly and the forehead. Untuck your toes and clasp your hands at the small of your back. Try to make a fist with those hands. Now bring your ankles together. Bring the heels of the hands together. Try to squeeze the shoulder blades together, trying to straighten out your arms. Don't let the heels of the hands separate. Inhale, send the chin forward and lift through the back of your head. And now let your arms just hover just away from those buttocks. Keep sending your knuckles back towards your heels. Keep opening across that chest. We're in serpent pose. Can you inhale and lift both your legs? That's your next option if you want to go further. Keep squeezing those ankles together. Stretching the toes back, dragging that heart forward. Take one more inhale, lift everything up, up, up. Exhale, release the body down, forehead down, hands beside the chest. In very slow motion, press up to your hands and your knees and take it all the way back into a wide-kneed child's pose now. Maybe knees at the edges of the mat, maybe not quite that wide, but try to bring your hips back to your heels. So we're not coming into frog, we're coming into child's pose. So you're trying to get your hips as close to your heels as you can. Letting your chest come down, letting your forehead come down. If the forehead isn't touching, support it with your hands. If your forehead is touching the ground, you have the ability to take your arms alongside the body and let the palms face up. Just totally relax the shoulders, let them roll and melt off your back. Let your hands now just come to either side of your head, pressing into the fingerprints or the palms. Slowly straighten your arms out and bring your thighs together. And as you bring your shoulders back over your hips, think about when you come to a seated position, do you always roll onto your left hip or do you roll onto your right hip? Try to do opposite to what you're normally drawn to do and let your legs come around now in front of you. So we can pull the flesh out from underneath those sitting bones. We can take a little lift underneath the edge of the seat if we need it, either with our rolled up mat, a blanket if we've got it. So we want to push the heels forward and pull all 10 toes back towards the body. And now draw your left knee into your chest. Let your left knee just fall out to the side. Don't slide the hip back anymore. Try to keep your hips still square to the top of your mat. Inhale, and both arms come up. Exhale, start to fold over that right leg, relaxing the arms down, taking a gentle grip of whatever you can reach with a bend in your elbows. Now bring your left shoulder down so it's level with the right. Drag your heart through those upper arms, relaxing your head down now as you close your eyes. Compressing the right side of the abdomen, helping to tone, massage the viscera. Pull the right toes back and press the right heel away. Inhale, lift the chin, and as you exhale, pause. Inhale, walk the hands all the way up the leg. Bringing your left hand to your left knee, bring that left knee up, and then just extend that left leg straight out. And draw your right knee into your chest. And when you can't get your heel any closer to the body, let your knee just fall out to the side, pushing your foot and your leg together as you flex both feet. Inhale, and the arms reach up, and as you exhale, move the chest in the direction of the toes, relaxing the arms down to take a gentle grip on the side of the leg. So the arms are actually working. We're trying to engage our biceps here. Pulling the belly in, drag the heart a little further forward. Now bring your right shoulder down so it's level with the left as you relax your head down. Close your eyes. Keep flexing both of your feet. Pulling your heart towards your toes, pulling your toes towards your heart. And just listening intently to the sound of your breathing as it passes in and out through your nose, but swirls gently there at the back of your throat. Massaging the low left quadrant of your abdomen. Inhale to look forward. Exhaling to pause. Inhale, walk the hands back up the left leg, reaching for the right knee with the right hand. Bring the knee up and extend that leg out. Good. So we're going to bring the hips forward, planting the soles of the feet, and then take our feet as wide as the mat is wide. Take your hands just back behind you and sort of lean back into your hands and take a deep breath in. Exhale, both knees to the right. Inhale, bring the knees up. And then over to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Now inhale, bring those knees up and over to the right. Lift your left hand off the ground. Start to bring your left hand around towards the back edge of your mat and walk your right hand out to the right a little more so you can really square your chest to that wall behind you. So we're up on our palms, we're lifting the chest. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, see if you can melt down onto your forearms, your elbows, and bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Keeping your hands as wide as your elbows are wide, gripping with your fingers, pull your heart forward away from the navel, and then pull your chin forward and away from your chest, looking back behind you now. Take another deep breath in and then begin to turn your head to the right and look back over that right shoulder, closing your eyes here in this twist. Lengthening the spine as you inhale, deepening the twist with every exhale. Just a couple more breaths here. In through the nose and out through the nose. Don't hold the breath. Make sure you can still breathe. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, relax the head. Let it hang. Push into the palms, lift the elbows, walk your hands back towards you. So we're going to bring that left hand all the way back around and behind us as we lift the knees up to center. Make sure your hands are at a shoulder distance width and take a deep breath in. Melt both knees over to the right. Lift your right hand. Take it around behind you. Turn your fingers back behind you. Walk your left hand out to the left and really turn your chest to face that back wall. So we are on our palms. Don't lower your elbows yet. Straighten your arms, walk your hands towards you. Lift through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in, and now start to lower down to your elbows and your forearms. Adjusting the forearms so they're parallel to one another. And then pulling with your hands, drag the heart forward and the chin forward. Lifting the chin away from the chest, we look now over our left shoulder. Close the eyes and breathe here in this twist. Listen to the inhale and the exhale. Try to lengthen as you inhale and twist deeper as you exhale, working to your edge. That place of comfortable discomfort in the posture. Take another inhale, really lengthen and extend as you exhale. Twist to your furthest. Relax your head, let it hang. Lift the elbows, walk your hands back towards you. Now this time it's the right hand lifting up, coming all the way back and around behind us as we bring the knees up, walk the feet together. Wrap the arms around those legs, sit up nice and tall, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bow, chin to chest. Maybe the arms can reach just a little further. As you inhale, lift the chin, and as you exhale, take a grip on the back of your thighs as you point your toes and the heels leave the ground. So maybe your toes can just leave the earth. This might be good. Maybe the toes can come higher. Maybe they need to stay down. Maybe the toes can come higher. Maybe some of you are working with straight legs. My abdominal surgeries don't really allow for that. Maybe you don't even need the arms. Maybe they can become the sides of your boat. So what is your body telling you today? Try to keep your chest and your thighs close together. Squeeze those legs together. Take one more inhale, lift the toes a little higher. Exhale, plant your feet 2 fist distance between the heels. Keep the knees in so your thighs are parallel, and plant your hands behind you about a foot or so. So you can point your fingers forward, or you can rotate your fingers around and point them straight back, but glue your feet down like they were suction cupped to the ground. So your feet can be a little wider, Jayashri, if you want. Pushing into your hands and feet, let your knees come forward over your ankles. Push your hips up to the sky. Maybe you can look up towards the ceiling. Some of you might even be able to look back behind you, but there should be no pain in your neck. And you should not be struggling to breathe, so back off if you need to. Take one more inhale, lift those hips up, 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 look forward, and exhale, lower the buttocks. Lower one forearm at a time. Lower your back and your head down. Draw your knees to your chest and rock side to side. Massage your back. And roll back to center. Arms to a T or cactus, depending on your spacing. Squeezing your legs together as you flex both the feet. Now both shoulder blades stay down on the ground. Take a deep breath in. Melt your legs to the right as you turn your head to the left, and before your left shoulder lifts, just set your feet down and relax here. Palms up or down if you're out to a T. Try to bring your chin all the way over toward that left shoulder in this spinal twist. So we've done lots of twisting in our practice today, cleansing the body, manipulating, massaging the viscera, relaxing muscles along the entire length of our spine, including low back, neck, and upper back. Trying to just surrender your body to gravity here. All you need to do is breathe deeply and relax completely. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Every exhale, the body gets a little heavier, sinks a little bit deeper. Maybe the knees can come a little closer to the right arm or the chest. Maybe you want to add the weight of your right hand or arm to the outside of that left knee or thigh. Remember, it's your practice and it's your body. You are the most aware of what you are experiencing in your physical body when you're on your mat. So you are your best teacher, your own guru. So listen very intently at all times. Keep it safe. But push yourself to your edge. Don't just coast in your practice. Relaxing both arms down to the ground now. We're going to push into those arms, flexing the feet as you inhale. Come up, knees and head. So the feet are off the ground. We're using our abdominal strength to lift the legs up. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lowering the legs to the left, turning the head to the right before the right shoulder lifts. Settle the feet and relax. And let go just as much in this left side twist as you did on the right. So your right shoulder has not pulled away from the ground. It's heavy. Even your right rib cage is coming back towards the floor below you rather than turning to the left. And that can be difficult. It can be difficult to back off, to not push to that next place, but we really want to try to maintain that, lost my word there, proper form, I guess, keeping the chest facing the ceiling rather than letting everything turn to the left. It might take several breaths. A sense of relaxation comes over the body. Maybe the knees can come up a little further. Maybe you want to add the weight of your left hand or arm to the outside of the right knee or thigh. Maybe you're good just as you are. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Breathing in prana, life force energy. Breathing out negativity, tension, and stress. Let all of it go. Relax. Try to relax along the entire length of your spine. Pressing into both the arms now, re-engaging those legs. On an inhale, come back to center. Reach for the knees with the hands and draw your forehead up towards your knees. See if you can wrap your arms a bit more tightly around those legs and take another deep breath in. Holding the breath, squeeze every muscle in the body now. The face, scalp, arms, back, buttocks, legs, feet, and release. Let your head come down. Maybe you have a bit of extra clothing you'd like. Maybe you have a blanket you'd like to drape over you. Maybe you're good just as you are. Take your heels to the corners of your mat. Try to relax the feet. Just let them kind of flop out to the sides. This allows for a sense of relaxation right from our hip area. And then see if you can have the arms and the legs on the same diagonal lines, that your body looks very symmetrical from above. Palms are facing up, shoulder blades are tucked underneath, just slightly. The chin takes a little tuck in towards the chest, creating a bit more length at the back of the neck. Tip of the tongue comes to rest on the roof of the mouth, just behind the top front teeth. And the rest of the tongue settles heavily down into the throat. So we only have a few minutes in this pose. It's important that we take as much time as we're given. This is where the magic really happens. This is where everything really sinks in. All of your work, all of your efforts being absorbed throughout the body on so many different levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Let it all sink in. Let your whole body relax. Feet relaxed. Legs relaxed. Hips and buttocks relax, melting into the floor. Hands relaxed. Arms, shoulders relaxed. The entire torso, the visceral organs, the heart, the lungs, the chest, and back are relaxed. The neck and throat are relaxed. The jaw and face are relaxed. The scalp is relaxed. The brain is relaxed. The whole body is relaxed. Invite a deeper breath back into your lungs through your nose. When you exhale, make sure to let it all go. And as you continue to breathe deeply, just start to move your fingers and toes a bit. And then the hands and feet begin to move, the wrists and ankles, and the head begins to turn side to side. Rolling the head back to center, slide your legs together and point your toes. Reach the arms back and over your head and take a long, deep breath in. Stretch the body out and relax. Let the arms sweep down to the sides And let your knees come into your chest and just do a little rocking from side to side, giving your back one last massage where it needs it. And notice how you feel and be thankful for this gift of yoga in your day today. Roll onto your left side, let go of your knees, and just pause here in this fetal position. So we've thanked ourselves for this practice, and now we send a silent thank you out to those who came to join us in this space. Those may be out in the ether practicing with us at home because they can't be here. Cultivating positive energy and a positive outlook here on our mat every time we practice. Press into your right palm and your left elbow, and with your eyes still closed, make your way very slowly up to seated. And as you sit, cross-legged comfortably, if that's available. You can also extend the legs out if you prefer. Try to really elongate the spine. Bring your palms together with about 5 to 10 pounds of pressure between them, and draw the thumbs in towards the sternum, pressing the sternum gently into those thumbs. Maybe you can sit a little straighter. We end our practice with the chanting of Om one time. Join me if you would like to, and take a deep breath in. I honor that place in you where the entire universe resides, that place of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. And when you reside in that place in you, and I reside in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. We fold forward, hinging from the hips. Hands can come down as a means of support if needed. And just take a moment, seal in your practice, letting it go. Thank you for coming this morning. Thank you for sharing your energy here on this lovely Sunday. And I hope you all have a great day. Most of you know our cleaning protocol. Joanna, you might be the only one that's new for that. We just have some Oxivir spray, and we just use one paper towel to just sort of spray the area around our mat. Not to like dry it completely, but just sort of spread it around. It has about a minute kill time for it, so you're very welcome.